Welcome to the Scott Townsend Show, brought to you by Dietzo Man Productions.
Max.
Hey Scott, how's it going?
Good. And you?
Doing well. Just
Awesome.
busy as ever, but all's good.
That's great. All right. Well, got yourself something to drink. Got everything set.
All good, man. Ready to roll.
All right. Let me turn my phone off here. Vibrate. And if you see me looking down while we're talking, I'm not being rude. I'm just I'll think of a question, or you'll say something that jogs so I want to write it down. So if you see me doing that, I'm not playing Candy Crush or anything while we're interviewing.
It'd be all right if you were, but yeah, no worries, man.
How have you been?
I've been good.
It's been a while, 2 years, I guess.
Has it been that long? Yeah, I thought we did this
Yeah.
last year, but maybe you're right. Yeah, been good. My wife and I are expecting our first in a few weeks here. So
Oh,
between that and the Movember campaign, a lot going on in my world.
yeah, it is. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
November is a good month to be born. I was born November 3rd, so right
Okay.
around the corner here.
Due date's November 19th. So hopefully for
Ah.
my wife's sake, it's the third, but how
All
have you
right.
been?
I've been doing great.
Uh,
I did some Movember last year, got sidetracked with where I'm working. And so this year I decided to jump back in with both feet. So I'm really glad that you accepted the invitation to come on and
of
talk
course.
about what's going on with Movember. And so, yeah, Max Skinner, the senior manager of community development. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
For Movember. And tell us a little bit about yourself. And yeah, we already know you're having a baby. What else is going on? What
Yeah, on on the work front, a lot going on in our world. Obviously, the Movember campaign is in a few days here on Saturday, Mo 1st. So just gearing up for that, getting all our ducks in a row, making sure our top fundraisers, top corporate teams have everything they need to run a successful campaign. Um, we've launched a few amazing new projects this past year in the U.S. And I think that's kind of one of the biggest questions our community comes back to us with is, where's this money going? As a global organization, obviously based out of Australia, we fund a lot of different global initiatives and projects, and I think more now than ever, our community members here in the U.S. want to see those funds stay in the U.S. and be localized. And
mm,
I'm proud to say with the support of our community and how much they've raised for us over the years, we've been able to launch and fund a few local initiatives and projects here in the U.S. First one being this new mental wellness program for collegiate student athletes called Mind Moves. And we launched that last year. Kind of saw or recognized um, that a lot of collegiate student athletes were struggling with their own mental health, especially with the whole new NIL landscape and kind of some of the external pressures and factors that come from inheriting these giant sponsorship deals. And
hmm
that comes with a whole lot of stress and pressure. And
hmm
a lot of these student athletes don't really know where to turn or how to seek support, who to talk to, or how to even recognize signs in a teammate or a friend. And the whole idea with this Mind Moves program was to better equip these student athletes with the right tools on how to spot their own signs and how to talk to a teammate and where to seek support on campus. So really proud to be part of that initiative. We launched Mind Moves around this time last year. And after kind of an initial pilot phase, we partner with this NIL platform called Open Doors, and they have a whole kind of educational platform where the program actually lives, and we have access to 150,000 college student athletes that can take the Mind Moves program for free. So that was a really cool kind of mental wellness initiative we launched last year that I'm super proud of. Earlier this
Yeah.
month, we launched. Let me back up here. So
Yeah.
about last year, we hired a whole research team here in the U.S. Because I think over the years, Movember has been kind of lacking credibility in the research world. we've built a great brand, a great community. We've raised over $1 billion for men's health since 2003. Um, but we've kind of lacked like data-driven or data-backed research. And our country director, Tim, kind of recognized that, hired a fellow research team about this time last year, and they've been working on this research project called the Real Faces Report, Real Faces of Men's Health Report. And it's a comprehensive look at kind of the state of men's health in the US, with some, policy recommendations to local governments, um, different stats and facts about certain demographics, certain, state by state, kind of just, comprehensive, high level overview of the state of men's health in the United States. And we launched this report about 3 weeks ago, had a big launch party in New York. Prince Harry actually came out to speak on a panel for us,
That's cool.
announcing the launch. So it took got a lot of media hits. I think we generated like 2 billion impressions from that media launch, which is cool.
Wow.
But the report's a total game changer for the industry.
Is there some place where a person can see that report?
Yeah, it's on our website and folks
Oh,
can download it directly. I'll send you the link if you want to share that with your audience.
yeah.
But it's kind of first of its kind, and we're super proud of it. Our research team has done an amazing job, and it's just a more granular look, again, at kind of the local and national level in terms of like what we can be doing about men's health, policy recommendations to local governments, and there's some really interesting findings and research that have come out of this. We've found that uh, I forget the percentages, but men, I believe it's 51% of men don't live until the age of 73. And forgive me if I'm butchering this, but that's 73 isn't just a random arbitrary number we pulled. It's an indicator of early stage early stage deaths. And so basically the majority of men aren't living to their full capacity. And so anyways, there's a bunch of amazing nuggets in research in this report that I'll share with you.
What's just so for everybody that might not know, the one or two people out there that might not know about Movember, can you give us just like a 35,000 foot view of what Movember is all about?
Yeah, probably should have started there, but
No, that's fine. We're
yeah,
good.
yeah. Happy to give kind of the rundown. So Movember is a foundation. We're a 501(c)(3) charity based out of Melbourne, Australia. So it's a global charity. Started in 2003, and our whole mission is to help men live longer, healthier, and happier lives. We found that on average, men are dying 5 years younger than women, and mostly for preventable reasons. And so we focus on three key cause areas, being testicular cancer, which is the most common cancer amongst younger generations, prostate cancer, which is the most common cancer amongst older generations. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer at some point in their lives.
Mm.
And then as of 2018, we introduced mental health and suicide prevention for men as one of our key focus areas. So those are the three causes that Movember raises money for. And every year, during the month of November, we have a whole peer-to-peer fundraising model. So we rely on our community members, our partners, our corporate accounts to go out on our behalf and fundraise for those three cause areas. On average, we globally we raise about 60 million around the world. In the US, we raise about 12 to 13 million on average. And 90% of that takes place during the month of November. That's kind of our bread and
Mm.
butter.
Mm-hmm.
And people know us for our mustaches. That's kind of our logo, our walking billboard, our icon. And so during the month of November, people, men grow out their mustaches to raise awareness, raise funds, and to start conversations. And so that's kind
Yeah.
of Movember from a high level.
So I haven't mine's mine's coming in. It's not looking, we can't even see it right now, but
You and me both.
Yeah, I'll be rocking the stash here in the next several days. Of all the stats, the from testicular cancer, prostate cancer, mental health, suicides. I think the one thing that's kind of staggering, the statistic where 60 men commit suicide every hour. Did I get that right?
Yeah, every hour around the world, which is sobering, alarming, speaks to um, why this work is so important and kind of the leaps that we need to take, especially in the US. Like 3 out of 4 suicides are made by men, which is just unacceptable. And I think we're kind of reaching this axis point in this country where um, men's mental health is kind of at a crisis point, especially given just everything that's going on in the world and how divisive and toxic the world seems to be, especially in this country right now. And without getting too political, I just think there's a lot going on. And um, but to try to be positive, I do think that narrative has shifted and mental health has become a little more universally acceptable to talk about. Men are starting to open up a little more, I've seen. But the data speaks volumes, and unfortunately, the suicide rate amongst men continues to climb, even with that kind of narrative shift, and that there are more resources and tools readily accessible. So it's the unfortunate truth, but why Movember exists and why we really rely on our community to help fund these types of projects to combat that.
I mean, I guess there's a lot of reasons why men 60 an hour are committing suicide. It's the not being able to talk things out, maybe, or you've been taught to keep your mouth shut, put up, don't,
Hmm.
boys don't cry, and just probably all kinds of reasons why there's that bottling up of emotions, and they don't quite know how to handle it.
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on. Unfortunately, um, as men, I don't know if we're wired to think this way, but um, you know, we don't really, we're not very vulnerable. I think there's a lot to learn from our female counterparts in terms of being proactive about our health, seeking support when we need it, and just talking, checking in on your buddies, like really checking in, not just talking about sports or fantasy football or golf or whatever, like checking in on them. Like it's funny, sometimes I'll go golfing with my buddies and someone I haven't seen in a while, maybe they're going through a divorce or something's up in their life, and I get home from golf and my wife asks me like, "Hey, how's so and so doing? Like what's going on with his divorce or his new child or whatever?" And we didn't even talk about it on the golf course. It's
Yeah,
it's kind of such a like a catch 22 because when you're on the golf course, it's a nice escape,
yeah, have
but
fun, get away.
yeah, for sure. But I think there's something to that where, and this is something Movember does a good job of, is like meeting men where they're at, where they're most comfortable, and what better setting than a golf course
Hmm.
to have an honest conversation with your buddy. So, anyways, I think it just comes down to like checking in and being more proactive.
I had a friend of mine the other day, something that just rocked me on my heels. uh, he said, he said, if I died, I don't think anybody would know for probably about a week.
Mm.
And I said, why is that? And I know him really well, I was like, no, no, that's not right. And he goes, no, really, seriously. I mean, I really don't have, nobody calls or stops by that often, maybe the postman, but, you know, other than that, so I was like, wow, really?
Mm.
So I called him the next day and I said, so you still alive? And he's like, yeah, I'm still here. I said, okay, just checking in on you. So I thought, yeah, that's probably a good idea. I hadn't even thought about it, but I mean,
Of
it was pretty sobering, thought, comment he made, and
Yeah, geez. I
Yeah.
mean, good on you for checking in on him, but like as silly as that is, like sometimes that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. He and
You
I were
know.
talking also about, I like the story of Carl Reiner and uh, Mel Brooks as they got older. Um, I guess Carl Reiner would go over to his house every night. They would eat dinner and watch Jeopardy or something every night. Just two old guys, getting together and just doing a thing.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty cool, actually. I guess they're both widowed, but and then Carl Reiner's passed away since then. But I don't know. I just thought that was kind of touching that two guys
Yeah.
would get out, reach out, and just have a thing. Watch Jeopardy,
Totally, man. I mean,
golf, Jeopardy, whatever.
a shared experience. Yeah,
A
my
shared
college buddies and
experience.
I just um we celebrated our 10-year college reunion last year, and we decided to do a golf trip in Pinehurst, North Carolina. And if it wasn't for that trip, we wouldn't stay as connected. And now it's kind of
Right.
an annual thing, and it's awesome, man. It's just a great way to reconnect with your pals. So like, yeah, shared experience, shared hobby, it goes a long way.
That's cool. One thing about Movember is it's guy driven and it's kind of fun. It's kind of crazy. It's when you think about it, Movember, uh it's to raise awareness, guys just do silly, nutty, funny, crazy things, to raise awareness, grow the mustache, raise money, do what are some of there's some challenges out there. And I think your website has a good, well, here it's mow your way
Oh, your own way.
mow
Yep.
your own way toolkit. And it's got a lot of good examples, templates, ideas on how to raise awareness, how to raise money for this. What are some of the crazier challenges you've heard of, or got some of the stories that stand out that people do to raise money and raise awareness?
Yeah. No, it's funny because our community members really get creative and unique with how they fundraise or raise awareness for us. A couple things stand out. A few years ago, we had this skydiver who owns the Guinness Book of World Records for most time skydiving naked. And how many times do you think he skydove naked in one day to break the record?
I mean, I did 24 hours a day, and so there's going to be like he probably did it like 10 times.
64 times.
64.
I think it was around there. Yeah, 60. And this man just jumped out of an airplane with nothing but a parachute and some baby powder. And it was all to raise awareness for Movember. He had
Yeah.
lost one of his buddies, also a skydiving instructor, to suicide earlier that year.
Hmm.
And he did this absurd, challenge as a
Yeah.
way to honor his buddy. And, it picked up a lot of press. ESPN did a hit on it. But those are kind of some of the ways that people get very outside the box with how they fundraise for us. And it's kind of fun.
Yeah. I thought I would I'm going to try to podcast every day for the month of Movember, and just every day pick a topic or talk about some aspect or something about Movember. There's a
Love
lot
it.
there's a lot to talk about, and try to raise some money. We'll see how it goes. I'm glad to hear that the money is a lot of money is staying in the U.S. Is there any way to know how much is going to the U.S.?
Yeah. So again, we raise around 12 to 13 million in the US year over year. 78% of that will be donated to our community health partners. The other 22% goes towards, administrative costs, legal fees, insurance, my fat salary, you name
Yeah.
it. Um, we do have, but we also keep some of that money in reserve to fund future projects. So it's not all allocated at once.
Okay.
we try to be as transparent as possible. There's a tool on our website where you can see, our financial reports, and it's tricky being a global organization. Like, we'd love to fund every local initiative, market by market, city by city in the US, but it's
Hmm.
just not feasible.
Hmm.
Which gets a little tricky sometimes. We want to show, someone in Seattle, we funded this program at the University of Washington with your funding, but we have like a whole restricted giving policy. It just gets a little complicated. But regardless, you can see our financials online. I'll send you, for your own Mow Your Own Way challenge
Yeah.
podcast and every day, I'll send you the men's health report, and there's a ton of good nuggets from that you can speak to, a lot of talking points. So hopefully that'll give you some inspiration.
Yeah. Uh, so okay. So someone's listening, says, "I'm in. Let's do this." How do they get involved? How can they get involved?
Yeah, so there's a few different ways that folks can get involved, both men and women. This isn't a boys' club.
Hmm.
We always say that uh, these causes affect everyone. It's kind of a trickle-down effect. Healthier men means healthier families, healthier communities. Because at the end of the day, when these men are battling prostate cancer or dealing with mental health struggles, their caretaker might be their spouse or their daughter,
Right.
or who knows, their girlfriend. And that takes a toll on them too. So, it's all a trickle down effect. So, anyways, there's different ways that folks can get involved. I mentioned growing a mustache, doing a fundraising campaign on Movember.com. Those are kind of the lowest hanging fruit ways to get involved next month. We have a couple other different products and offerings for women that want to get involved. We have a whole endurance challenge called Move for Movember. And so folks are, encouraged to walk or run 60 miles for the 60 men we lose to suicide every hour around the world. You can host an event. You can mow your own way, like we talked about earlier, which gives you kind
Hmm.
of carte blanche to fundraise or raise awareness however the hell you see fit. If you want to jump out of an airplane naked, go for it. But yeah, just go on over to us.movember.com, sign up, register with the Movember page. And even if you don't plan on fundraising, you'll be entered into our communications funnel to receive information about our causes and some of the local programs and initiatives that we're funding.
Yeah, and yeah, I thought it was interesting that you can hook up your fitness tracker to the website, or I don't know how that or your mobile app,
Yeah,
whatever, to track.
Yeah, we have kind of a integration with Strava, which is like a fitness band, and it'll automatically log however many miles you're walking or running next month, and it'll sync it up with your Mo page. There's a lot of cool tools and kind of feasibilities within our website, and we have a mobile
Hmm.
app as well if you want to download that. It's just the
Yeah, I
Movember.
got my mobile app going, and
Love it. Love it.
I know you noticed your website too. There's free graphics templates. Canva has some free marketing materials that you can grab and use on your website, social media, whatever.
Yeah, great shout out.
Hmm.
We try to equip our community members with everything they need, whether that's creative assets, social media templates, fundraising guides. If you're starting your fundraiser for the first time and you don't know how to start, where to start, we have a guide for you, resources, key messaging, statistics, whatever y'all need to kickstart your campaign. We got you.
It's a sober subject, but it's there's a lot of guys, gals having a lot of fun. It's kind of the way guys do things, to raise awareness, raise money, help, bring the rates of suicide and cancer rates on testicular. What's the other one? Testicular and
And prostate.
prostate cancer. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Uh, so yeah. So if anybody wants more information, do they contact you? Where do they go to sign up or whatever?
Yeah, you sign up at us.movember.com. There's a big sign up call to action button top right of the screen. Or you could join Scott's team or donate to his Mo page as well. I'm sure you'll share the link with your audience. And
Right.
um, yeah, you can also email me at max.skinner@movember.com if you have any questions on how to get started. we're here to support. So appreciate you, Scott. Thanks for driving awareness, and thanks for your to your network and your audience for supporting the cause.
Oh yeah, thanks for being on the show, and congratulations on the newborn coming up, and all the best with that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, that's being a father is a great thing.
Can't
All
wait.
right. Well, for Max Skinner, this is Scott Townsend. Thanks for watching, listening to the Scott Townsend Show. Have a great day. Everything's going to be all right, and we'll talk to you later.
The Scott Townsend Show is a Dito Man production. For more episodes, visit the Scott Townsend Show YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.